One of these camera setups costs $6,000. One of these camera setups costs less than $1,000. And one of these camera setups costs nothing because it comes free with my laptop. Can you tell the difference between these cameras? Here we go. What is happening, beautiful humans? My name is Darius, and I am the creator and founder of The Artist Morning. In this video, we will be comparing a $6,000 camera setup to a less than $1,000 camera setup. And we will be going through 6 key things that are different between these, very specifically for anyone that is looking to upgrade their Zoom. So this isn't for photographers or like traditional cinematographers. This is for you. If you are ready to make your Zoom look amazing. Ready? Let's go. Okay, so the first thing we want to compare is the actual cameras. And the first camera we want to look at is this bad boy. It's kind of crazy, I know. There's only 3 parts to this camera here. Part number 1 is the camera, which is a Canon 5D Mark IV. All the details, all the links will be in the YouTube description if you want more technical details or to actually browse and potentially purchase the camera. Thing number 2 is the lens. This lens is a Sigma 24mm T1.4. And then the last thing is this big mamma jamma, this monitor. And the reason I need a monitor is there is no articulating screen on this very expensive professional camera. So when it's set up, I need to be able to look at myself and make sure things are aligned and the lighting is right and all that stuff. So I had to go get an extra monitor to be able to do that. 3 things coming out to about a total of $6,000. So that's camera setup number 1. And this guy right here is our second camera setup, a Canon T6i Rebel series. The lens is an 18 to 55 millimeter lens, and the camera and the lens almost always come together. That's why this lens is called a kit lens. It comes in the kit. There's no monitor needed for this one. So it keeps the cost under $1,000. Honestly, sometimes it's like $500-$600 depending on the deal. You throw the articulating screen out and you can see yourself, so you don't need to spend extra money on the monitor. And honestly, I know this is an entry-level DSLR, but don't tell anyone. I've actually shot professional fashion shoots with this, not because I wanted to, but because I had to. And nobody, including the printer, could tell the difference. So if you know what you're doing, this lens can do incredible things. Let's get into the next thing. We're going to be comparing the crop of these 2 cameras, because that is something that is significantly different. You guys have probably heard of a full frame camera or a crop sensor camera. Instead of telling you what it is, I'm just going to show you. This is, oh my God, cameras everywhere. This is a crop frame because it cropped all of this out. You see the difference? There's more space in a full frame, more expensive camera versus pew, 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 I'm melting. Not really. It's not all that bad. There's still lots of room, but I personally love this door behind me. I love that I have air to breathe. Maybe you are thinking, you know what, D, if I go to this crop sensor and I just move the camera back, problem solved. Yes, partially. Not everyone has infinite amount of space to move their camera back. Maybe there's a wall right there and you have no ability to do that. And so in that case, you might want to be considering the full frame that gives you more space, more air, but costs more money. Hands down, number 1 thing I get comments on about my Zoom video is the shallow depth of field. What the hell is a shallow depth of field? You see how my eyes are in focus, and then slowly, smoothly everything behind me falls out of focus, so it draws your attention to my face. Versus in focus, still in focus, a little bit out of focus, but not by much. Look at Alfie, my lion behind me. He's kind of in focus compared to not. Where is he? There he is. Out of focus, beautifully out of focus, right? In focus, out of focus. In focus, out of focus. I feel like a super freaking hero. I can control cameras like you never seen. Okay, back. Get focused. Get focused. Darius, get focused. So, just Darius in focus. Misha in focus. This is a major difference between these lenses. The 5D Mark IV is shooting on a 1.4T. All that means is the aperture can shoot way open, which draws everything out of focus. It's way too much tech. Most important thing here is if you are committed to this out of focus look, you're going to have to go with this more expensive option because this guy won't give that to you. This tip is all about focus and autofocus. Let's just start by getting a baseline by looking at the image quality as impacted by the lens. This Sigma Art lens is incredible. And you can see my eyelashes are probably in focus because the sharpness of this lens is insane. Versus this kit lens that's less than $100, you probably notice that there's softness around my eyes. My skin texture is a little softer. So, of course, a $50, $60 lens versus $1,500, $1,200 lens, there should be a difference. Most of you guys using Zoom don't want your skin texture to be super sharp. You enjoy the softening of your skin. So maybe a much cheaper lens is actually what you want. The other thing I want to consider is autofocus. So like if you are moving a lot, pretty good for a kit lens compared to. Now, there's a major thing we got to discuss here, and I don't want to get too technical, but this expensive lens is shooting at a much wider aperture. So it's always going to take more time to go in and out of focus. But for a 1.4 T lens, this thing is stupid fast. So autofocus, still pretty damn good on this cheap lens. Can you lose it? Yo, if you are zooming and you are doing this shit, I want to be on your Zoom because this mofo is still catching me. Still in focus. Good job, kit lens. Wait, what? Who? Okay, this might be the make or break for the Rebel. Low light situations. We killed our artificial lights, our set lights. We brought the lights on these big windows down, and you see in a low light situation, now I could try to push this even more with the ISO, but it'll break apart because there's a limit in how far you could push this lens and this camera with ISO versus this guy has a lot more latitude. What I'm trying to say, without getting too technical, is this camera will always outperform this camera in low light situations. So if you do not have an abundance of light in your place that you are shooting your zooms, you don't have beautiful window light or artificial lights, you might need to abandon this much cheaper option for something more expensive. So the last point I want to talk about is image quality. Here's what's really interesting. If you go talk to people at camera shops or you look at reviews, everyone's going to talk to you about how the image quality in this camera is far superior. And it is. But all of those reviews are based off of traditional settings. They're based off of photography in real life. They're based off of cinematography in real life, traditional cinematography. But nobody's really talking about zoom. And here is something to consider. This beautiful, high-end, potentially shooting in 4K camera has to go into Zoom, and Zoom will export it out. And as it does that, it crushes a whole lot of image quality anyways. So all of the stuff you're paying for, if you're only paying for that superior image quality in this camera, it won't show up when it comes to Zoom in the same way. So the difference, there is a difference, but the difference is much smaller in overall image quality when you're only considering Zoom. Hopefully this video has given you a lot to think about for which video is best for you, which camera setup is best for you. Some of you might decide that you really need, like I need, this shallow depth of field behind me. Some of you will be like, it doesn't matter to me, D. Some of you will be like, the crop, I need space, nice, luxurious space. And then some of you guys will be like, nope, doesn't make any difference. And some of you will be like, I forgot the other points. Hold on, what were the other points? Oh yeah, I don't want to spend $6,000, D. I'd much rather spend less than $1,000. I'm not here to tell you what to do. You need to figure out, based off of a fair evaluation, what you need to do. But some of you are very serious about up-leveling your Zoom because you get it that this isn't like a 2-month thing. This is a for the next foreseeable future thing. And up-leveling your Zoom will allow you to make a better impression, grow your business, grow your brand, make deeper connections with people in your industry, in your world, in your career, and you're ready to up-level. So if you are, this 5D Mark IV with the Sigma lens is a powerhouse. It's a lens and camera setup that will last for years to come. It's my camera setup, so I'm a little biased. Yes, that's important. And for the rest of you guys that are like, I can't afford that, I'm not interested in all those bells and whistles, this Rebel surprised the crap out of me. Seriously, I wasn't expecting a kit lens, an entry-level DSLR, to do the things it was able to do. Lastly, some of you might be like, yes, let's up-level the camera, the lens, the lights, all that stuff. And I want to up-level everything else I can when it comes to Zoom and videos. Lucky for you, I've got a boot camp, a video boot camp coming up very soon. And if you want to get on the waiting list for that boot camp, there'll be a link below in the description. You can put your name and email and you'll be put at the front of the line for that waiting list. And that boot camp is all about me sharing everything I know about Zoom, about videos, about being comfortable and calm, cool, and collective when it comes to everything videos. That's enough for me. I'm going to go rest now because I've been talking a lot. See you later.